between us shrinking. Ethic, no room for thinking. Just the pull, just the gravity of two souls losing sanity. Your finger traces the rim of a glass, of a moment slim, before it breaks, before it falls. I watch your lips, I watch the walls come down, brick by brick. This is not a trick of the light, of the smoke. This is the unspoken spoke between us, turning, burning slow. Chemistry in the smoke, words we never spoke, hanging heavy, hanging sweet, between the pulse and the heat. Between the pulse and the heat. You lean in to light my flame, close enough to whisper my name, but you don't, you just smile. That dangerous kind of wild that knows exactly what it does to the rhythm, to the buzz in my chest, in my veins. This is pleasure mixed with pains of wanting, of waiting, of the almost. The joint passes, fingers touch, electric, not too much, just enough to know, to feel. This is real, that this is steel, wrapped in velvet, wrapped in doubt, figuring each other out. Hanging heavy, hanging sweet, between the pulse and the heat. Between the pulse and the heat. Night stretches, we don't move, trapped in the smoky groove of almost, of not yet, of a hunger we won't forget. The weight of your look, heavy like a book of secrets, of the spells that you cast, that you tell without moving your lips. Across the room, across the smoke, you catch me, you invoke something ancient, something raw that ignores every law of distance, of the space between your face and my face, and the gravity that pulls at the wool, at the full moon rising in my chest. The weight of a look, no novel, no textbook can teach what your eyes say. In the silence, in the sway of this smoky room, you don't blink, you don't break, you just take pieces of me with each stare, with the dare that you wear, like a necklace, like a chain that pulls me through the pain of wanting, of the weight of the fate that we create in the inches between. Someone speaks, we don't hear, too near, too clear. the smoke, in the spell of the look of the well you drew from deep and dark.
Afterglow, afterglow, everything is moving slow. Heart rate's finding normal ground in the sound, of the quiet that we made. Your leg over mine, heavy, steady, ready to sleep or to wake, to make or to break the spell of the moment that we spent, that we lent to each other, to the smoke, to the joke and the poke of reality at the door. Afterglow, afterglow, no need to come or go. Just this, just here, just the near and the clear of the peace we found. Fingers trace lazy patterns on skin that burns and yearns for nothing, for the void of the employed, of the destroyed tensions that we brought to this spot, to this cot of safety, of the harbor, of the ardor and the barber, sharp edge softened now. The joint burns down to ash in the crash, in the splash of satisfaction of the done, of the one and the spun, gold from straw, from the raw material of the night. Made right, made right. We don't speak, we don't need. The seed has been free to grow in the silence, in the silence of the trust, of the must and the just, of this moment, of this glow that we know, that we know will fade but will remain. Dawn cracks, pink and gold, morning air, crisp and cold, but warming like the cup in hand, like the day that's being planned. Not with to-do lists, not with stress, but with openness, with yes. Sativa sunrise, mind awake, creative juices start to shake, loose from sleep's gentle hold. Stories waiting to be told unfold like petals in the dawn. Ideas born from the connection between what is heard and what is seen, and what is felt in the space between. The grace of heightened sensitivity to beauty, to activity that normally goes unnoticed, now focused. Sativa sunrise, open eyes to the wonder that was always there, hidden in the daily care and worry now, stripped away. Welcome to a new day. Notebook fills with sketches catches words, songs of birds that suddenly have so much to say in their ancient way of communicating joy that doesn't need to employ human language, human speech. Lessons that the morning teach to those awake enough to hear, to those without the fear that holds so many in its grip. Let the mind go on a trip without leaving the front porch. Ideas torch through the fog of routine thought, new connections being wrought. Sun climbs higher, shadows shrink, world wakes up, starts to think in its loud and hurried way. But I'm keeping with the play of light, of easy energy, moving with the synergy of plant and person, earth and sky, learning how to fly without leaving the ground. Breakfast tastes like discovery, every bite recovery of senses dulled by habit, by the daily grind, the daily why that loses meaning in the race. Here I find my pace in the chewing, in the taste, not a minute gone to waste, but savored like the morning light, like the fading night that gives way to possibility, to responsibility, chosen, not imposed to the path that I have rode. But height, a different type of sight that sees the potential in the day, not the obstacles, not the way things could go wrong, but right. Keeping focus, keeping light within despite the clouds that gather in the crowds of worry, doubt and fear. Here I keep clear through the smoke, through the haze, finding different ways to meet the world, to engage with wisdom of the sage. Fully up, day begun, but something new has been won, and perspective fresh and clean on what it means to be alive, to be awake. Sativa sunrise, give and take between the plant and me, between what is and what can be.
Smoke rings climbing slow and fast, sun through curtains, where we at? Time dissolved in afternoon haze, purple light, golden days. Roll tight, spark bright, window cracked. Exhale slow, feel the impact. Not a force, but a release. Inner critic finds its peace. Couch becomes a cloud, I'm floating. Every worry, every loathing drifts away like secondhand smoke. This is the antidote, the foe. Remedy for modern speed, for the hungry, for the need to always run, to always chase. Here, time expands, finds its space. Purple haze, afternoon, sky turned lavender, not too soon. The world outside can keep its rush. I'm here dissolved in hush. Refrigerator hums a bass line. Kitchen clock says 9:30. But what does that even mean in this stretched out smoky scene? Snacks arranged with cosmic care, Munchies hit, but we're prepared. Pineapple, chocolate, cheese, simple things that aim to please. The senses heighten, colors pop. Close my eyes, still see the top of mountains that don't exist. Imagination's plot twist. Is no word said. Understanding overhead, like smoke that dances, twirls a sense. Some connections need no ends or beginnings, just the flow of being here, of letting go. Music sounds, different layers peel, revealing what was always real. The bass was always this deep, the melody was always this sweet. I just couldn't hear it before. Through the anxiety, the war of daily living, daily stress, here I hear the tenderness in every note, every phrase, lost in this purple haze. Oh, afternoon fades to evening gray, but the haze is here to stay. Not in lungs, but in the mind, a different way of being kind to myself, to the world. This is what the herb unfurls.
Soil under nails, sun on neck, garden growing. What to expect from seeds so small, potential vast. Patience learned from seasons past. Tending leaves of 7 points, rolling papers, rolling joints of thought, of action, of desire. Tending in a fire that burns too bright in modern life. Here I garden without strife, pruning anxiety like dead leaves, watering what my soul believes in. Slow growth, deep roots, strong stems. Not the race, but the gems found in process, not result. In the tending, in the cold, slowly done. No rush, no force, just time transforming green to sublime. The smoke carries prayers up to where the air is thin. The cup of atmosphere that holds us all, where prayers dissolve, where answers fall like rain, like grace, like knowing that the garden keeps on growing even when I'm not around. Underground the roots are found, deep in soil, deep in self. This is natural wealth, not counted in the coins we stack, but in the peace we don't lack. From seed to sprout to flower to flame, nothing ever stays the same, but the cycle always turning. This is what the plants are learning and teaching me. If I'm still enough to listen, enough to feel the wisdom in the chlorophyll, in the quiet, in the thrill of connection, earth to sky, root to crown, you to eye. Garden sleeps, I sleep too. Moonlight on the monu. Tomorrow tending starts again in this green thought garden.
Empty bed, still warm. Storm outside, coming storm. A missing of the trace she left behind. Her face in the pillow, in the air. Her perfume on my pillow kills me like a weeping willow. Bends and sways and haunts the room. Promises made in the gloom of last night, of the dark, where we left our mark on each other, on the sheets, on the rhythm of heartbeats that sink, that swam. She's gone, but she remains in the smoke, in the stains of lipstick, of the wine, of her body pressed to mine. I find her hair upon my shirt, evidence of the hurt and the healing that she brought, of the wars that we fought and surrendered. White flags high underneath the purple sky, of dawn creeping through the blinds while she slept, while I mined her secrets, her silver and gold. The joint we shared still burns in the ashtray, still yearns for her lips, for her inhale, for the story we would tell if words were needed, if sound could match the profound. I smoke alone, taste her there in the haze, in the air, ghost of something almost real, of the hunger that we feel but never feed, never name, just the smoke, just the flame. Mouthful of moon
upon the tongue, upon the teeth of the underneath, of the beneath where secrets sleep. You speak and I taste the stars that you are, made of silver, made of dust, of the trust and the lust that you whisper in my ear. Crystal clear as the water, as the wine of your spine, of the line that you walk between the real. Mouthful of moonlight, swallow slow, hold tight to the glow, to the gleam of the dream that you seem to be made of. I sip the smoke from your lips, the eclipse, the ellipse of your mouth, around the joint, around the point, around the anointment of the moment, of the now, of the how and the wow that escapes without a sound from the bound, from the wound of your throat, of your note. The moon watches through glass as we pass, as we mass the moments into hours, into flowers, into powers that we hold and we spend and we lend to the end that comes slow, that comes sweet. Moonlight fades, sun invades, but the taste, but the shades of the night remain in the stain, in the chain of the memory of the mouth, of the south, of the drought that you quenched, that you filled. Dust motes dancing in the sunbeam, attic boxes, childhood dream, locked away but not forgotten. Every memory dust covered, rotting. Found a box of Polaroids from 2009, frozen moments from a different time, faces I don't recognize as mine. Memories fading like an old street sign. There's me at graduation, scared of a future I wasn't prepared to face, to fight, to fail. The confidence was just a veil. Yellowed edges, chemical smells, stories that I'll never get to tell. Who were we before the world got hard? Just kids playing cards in a backyard. Birthday parties, paper hats, before we learned about stats and odds and how they stack against the dreams we won't get back. Summer camp, first crush, first kiss, before we knew what we'd miss about those simple, stupid days, before we learned life's maze. Letters from a friend who died, I never wrote back, never cried until tonight in this attic space, confronting what time can erase. Building rooms inside my mind, a palace where I can find every moment, every faith stored in this mental space. The good, the bad, the in-between, the person I was, the one I've been, becoming, changing, growing old. Some memories worth more than gold. I keep locked tight, memories that haunt the night. Not everything deserves a room in this palace, this tomb of what was, what could have been. Selective history, my own spin on a life that's still being written. Some chapters better left unwritten. Close the box, close the door. Can't live in memories anymore, but I'll visit now and then in this palace, my old friend.
Empty room, one light, ghost notes, middle of the night, when the inspiration strikes. So when the loneliness hides up to levels hard to bear, but I record I'm there.
Yeah, these are the words I never said to the living or the dead who wander through my memory, haunting every melody. I write at 3 a.m. alone, reaching for the telephone to call someone who isn't there, who is but wouldn't care.
Ghost notes in the arrangement, whispers of estrangement from the world of daylight things. These are the songs that midnight brings.
Every track is hidden layers of doubt, of hope, of prayers to gods I don't believe in, but still find myself leaving offerings of art and pain, hoping something will remain. When I'm gone, when I'm dust, these recordings are my trust.
The compressor catches breath between the words, the life, the depth of every syllable I speak, making strong sound weak. Oh, weak sound strong, it's hard to tell in this private hell of creation, of doubt.
Yeah, playback shows the flaws so clear. Every tremor, every fear captured in digital amber. While I try to remember why I started, what the point before my joints got stiff from sitting from the cold of a room that's getting old. Perfection's truth, the honesty of youth that didn't know about the game, about the money, about the fame. Just the need to make a sound, to push the silence out, to drown the voices saying, who are you to think they'll listen, think they'll care?
I delete, I start again. This is the artist's pain and pleasure intertwined in the ghost notes, hard to find, but there, if you listen close to what matters most.
marble steps, heavy doors, silence deeper than before. Isles of wisdom, rows of thought, everything that's been taught and everything that's not. Lost between the shelves of used books, stealing time, stealing curious looks at strangers reading lives they'll never live, taking more than the library will give. There's a whole section on regret, books about how to forget, and others on remembering. The weight of each is staggering. Fiction blurs with reality. The characters have so much more to say than the silence of my empty apartment, where imagination is the only tenant. Found a note in a margin, 1982. Someone's thoughts, someone's view on a passage that meant something to a stranger, heart still pumping. Through these inked words, this page connecting us across the age. I wonder where they are tonight, if they found darkness or light. The library closes in an hour. I don't have the power to leave this sanctuary, yet still searching for the alphabet that spells out what I'm feeling. Some kind of spiritual healing. In the poetry section, tears collected over all the years, by readers who felt understood, by strangers who wrote good enough to reach across the void to the broken and destroyed, and say, I see you, I feel it too. The darkness and the blue. Check out books I'll never finish, too ambitious, too diminished in my capacity to focus. But I keep hoping, keep the locus of control on, trying learning, even when my soul is burning with the weight of unread pages that will last through all the ages. Fingertips on fire, tracing higher, tracing higher, up the spine, up the neck, to the pulse, to the check, made of breath of control. You map me like a coastline, slow, deliberate, divine. No rush, no race to win, just the exhalation of skin and the shiver that you draw from the shoulder to the jaw. With a nail, with a breath, this is life, this is death of the lonely, of the alone. Fingertips on fire, every touch a wire, living sparking in the dark, leaving marks, leaving marks. Arcs into your palm, like a psalm, like a calm before the storm that builds in the silence, in the fields of tension that we sow and grow into something wild and tall. Gravity increases, cool, moon above, beautiful. And heavy like the lids of eyes that kiss themselves, they're staying open. But the herb has spoken in its ancient root deep tongue, the rest of songs unsung, in waking hours not released into the peace. Indica moon, heavy bloom, body sinking into room, into floor, into foundation. Muscle find vacation from the holding, from the tension of modern life's pretension that we must always be alert, ready, working, always heard by the grind, by the pace. Here I find space to drop, to melt, to become heavy, peaceful, numb in the best way, the right way. End of day. Indigo pulls me down to the ground where roots grow, where sleep waits, where the body celebrates its weight, its presence, its need to rest, to feed on dreams. Thought slow to a crawl, then stop, or hop from lily pad to lily pad of idea. Not bad, not good, just existing in the misting of a mind that finally quiet stops its riots against itself, against the world. Here unfurled is acceptance, heavy, sweet, of defeat, of the need to always win, to always begin new projects, new pursuits. Hear the roots, moonlight through the window falls on walls that breathe, that expand and contract with the fact of our breathing, slow and deep, counting sheep that don't need to be counted, sleep mounted on the horizon, approaching slow, ready to go where the body leads. Gravity wins as it must, as it does in the end, always in the night soft haze. We surrender, we give in to the spin of the earth, the pull of moon, to the tune that plays in blood and bone, the known rhythm of rest, of repair, of care for the self, the vessel, the home of the soul, the dome of consciousness that needs to sleep, to sinking into floor, into more than just a room, a house, into the mouse that scurries in the wall, into all that lives and breathes and rests, into nests of birds, of dreams, of sleep, into the deep where the moon pulls tight, where indigo resides, in the body, in the mind, what we find when we let go, let down, like the moon, where the crown of night, of rest, of peace, of release.
pieces.
Neon sign buzzing, open all night. Fluorescent hum, too bright light. Booth in the corner, sticky seat, where the lost and lonely meet. 3 a.m. and the coffee stale. Waitress knows every tired tale. I've been spinning for months now. Same booth, same time, same how. Are you holding up? She asks. I smile, hide behind my mask. Just fine, just passing through. The lie we tell, me and you. These formica confessions, late night obsessions. Strangers witness what friends don't see in this 24-hour honesty. Couple fighting, 3 booths down. He's lost, she's wearing the crown of someone who checked out. I know that look, that doubt, that creeps in at 3:15. When you wonder what it all means, the fights, the love, the years, the accumulating fears. Truck driver slides into the counter. Been driving since the sun went down. Orders eggs, doesn't say much. Some lives you can't touch. Insomniac in the corner booth, reading the same page. That's the truth of how we cope, how we survive. Finding ways to feel alive. When the world's asleep and dreaming, we're here awake, skiing, or just waiting for the dawn, for the strength to move on. Start to shuffle in the morning crew, where to begin their day of ordinary things. While the night shift packs their wings, I leave a tip too large, probably for the therapy, the honesty of this place that never closes, where everyone exposes. Push through doors night to day, what was said, what to convey to the daylight version of me that hides what the night could see.
Skin against the vinyl, warm and final, like a decision made in the shade, in the glare of smoke and of sound.
Yeah. Your back presses to the floor, record scatter vinyl walks from the heat that we generate, from the weight that ends here, that begins with the sins of the skins that slide and seek and find the blind spots, the behind of reason, hold the rhyme.
Skin against the vinyl, scratch a spiral of the needle, of the night, of the hold and the height that we reach, that we fall.
When music skips, we don't care. Too caught in the snare of hip and of lip, of the slip and the grip that anchors.
It drowns in the sounds and the crowns of sweat that we have made in the shade, in the glade of this room, of this tomb, of the alone of the home that we build in the haze. Your breath hot on my neck, a wreck, a check mate to my king, to my crown, to the down that we drown in together in the tether of the leather and the feather, light touch, heavy meaning. The record ends, we remain in the stain, in the chain of the moment, of the heat of the beating, complete that still pulses, still pounds, and the wounds and the sounds that linger after touch. Skin against the vinyl, skin against the vinyl, oh, skin against the vinyl, 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 skin again, skin again, skin again, skin against the vinyl, skin against the vinyl, skin, skin, skin against the vinyl.
Day fading, light remaining longer than it should, sustaining this moment stretched and thin between the without and within.
Golden hour hitting different today, chasing shadows as they fade away. Not every ending has to be goodbye. Sometimes you need to fall to learn to fly. The sun dips low but it'll rise again. I've been through storms, I know the rain will end. Soaking in this light while it lasts, letting go of shadows from the past. This light is temporary, but its effect is legendary on the soul that stops to see the beauty in the leaving. Photographers call it magic time, when the hearts become sublime and ordinary streets turn gold. Stories that need to be told through lenses, through verse, through being present. Learning that the past is pleasant to remember, but not to live in. The future's not a given. So I stand here, camera down, not trying to capture or to crown the moment with technology, just experiencing, being free from the need to document, living in the element.
Colors shift from gold to pink, faster than you think, then a purple, then a blue, the day's through. But what a way to end, what a message to send to yourself about the value of slowing down, of the real you.
And as the first star appears, I realize my fears about tomorrow, about next week, are smaller than they seem, less unique. Everyone watches, they become night. Everyone loses the light, but everyone gets it back. That's the promise, that's the fact.
Golden hour, eternal in the soul's internal landscape where we store the light from days before.
darkness now, but that's okay. I kept some light from today, in memories and verse and hope. Learning how to cope with the cycle, with the turn, with the lessons we must learn about endings and beginnings, and the gold that lives in the spaces in